Hi, my name is Garet Christopher. This is my YouTube channel, Garet's Sports Take. So I tried to get through just one take for this, talking about the upcoming MLB season and my Dodgers specifically, but I want to talk about Trevor Bauer, and I didn't get to that yet. So let's talk about that here, part 2. So please check out part 1. I'm a Dodger fan, so I talk Dodger stuff, and there's a lot of signings here and there. To be very honest though, the last year and a half, I haven't watched a lot of baseball on television. And so, man, that quick, I'm out of the loop as far as a lot of the top players. And, unless you're like someone in the National League West with the Giants or the Padres or something like that. By the way, Fernando Tatis, I guess, can be out for like 3 months, something with his wrist, busted his wrist, something like that. Poor guy. What a heck of a player. Man, what an awesome player. Or because I'm in Southern California, so the Angels, and, I know some of their players and Shohei Ohtani and that kind of a thing. But, okay. By the way, real quick, visit Amazon.com, BN.com. I got 5 novels, ebook, paperback. I've got on Amazon.com and Audible. I've got 3 audiobooks and my weekly podcast. Please check that out. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun on it. Weekly podcast available on Soundcloud and Spotify. Garet Christopher. And right now I'm presenting The Takeover in its entirety. I'm like 60% of the way through. So please check that out. Okay, let's talk Trevor Bauer. So, and this is partially a need. So if you don't know the Trevor Bauer situation, kind of look it up. From my kind of vantage point, not really knowing anything about anything, all I know is this. So Trevor Bauer was mentioned and was being sued because of some things he did in the bedroom with a woman, and not his wife. And he's not married, I don't think. No. And the LA County Court DA threw it out. Okay, so he's no longer in trouble as far as the law is concerned. But Major League Baseball has got him at this point. They're still checking things out. He's on admin leave. And the Dodgers, I think where they stand right now is they're not going to have him back to pitch, okay, with them ever again. And I remember way back when this thing first started off, when you first started to hear some comments from a particular woman. And Dave Stewart, who was a pitcher with the Dodgers early on in his career, said right away that there's no way that this guy Trevor Bauer should be even thought of as a Dodger anymore. And during the O'Malley regime, which was an ownership with the Dodgers back when Dave was coming up with them, and I really liked the O'Malleys big time, but and things really went downhill when they sold the team for a number of years. Now it's kind of back in there, but really crazy for a while. Any case, said that under their regime, it would have been no question that Trevor Bauer would not be allowed to be in a Dodger uniform. At the time, when this first thing broke out, I was kind of like, man, I don't know, Dave. I don't know about all that. Because, like, look, anyone can say anything, right? I can be sued right now for kicking your dog, okay? Now, I like dogs, and I don't kick dogs, okay? And maybe I've been nowhere near your home, but you can sue me for that, and then got to try and prove, and I get that. Well, even if I'm proven not guilty, right, innocent in that case, it's still out there that perhaps people from the ASPCA or like are going to consider me as this dog hater and as this person who likes to kick dogs, despite the fact that it's proven in court that I'm not a dog hater, nor did I kick this person's dog, right? But the perception is out there. So should a person be put on admin leave or kicked off a team or whatever because of perception? Because someone else says something against that person? I don't know how much is true of it. Now let's say Trevor Bauer does things in the bedroom that most people, yours truly included, would never consider. I don't feel that, how can I say this? It's not for kids, so I can put it out there. I don't feel that choking a person while you're having sex with them is something I would ever even think of doing, okay? But it's out there, unfortunately, and supposedly Trevor Bauer ascribes to that particular activity. But are we going to go into a person's bedroom? And if it was consensual between the two parties, but then the person, for whatever reason, and let's say, and again, I have no idea, but let's just say that she didn't like the fact that he stopped returning her calls, that he just used her. And a couple of times they got together, because he went back, from what I understand, a second time, that she didn't like the fact that, and so she decided she's going to go ahead and put it out there. Now, again, I know there's a lot of facts in there that are going this way and that way. Like, I get it. And I also understand the fact that, look, you shouldn't allow, as a sport, that's trying to just be clean, whether it's the Major League Baseball, the basketball, the football, soccer, whatever. You're trying to keep your nose clean and out of any kind of negative things. But anyone can say anything about anyone. So, devil's advocate in Trevor Bauer's situation. If I am the general manager, vice president, president, whatever for the Dodgers, okay, it's very possible that I could look at my team this year and say, someone says something about one of my players. That's our family. You ever had one of your family members, be it your kid, be it your spouse, be it your mother, be it your uncle, like that someone says something bad about them? And even if it was a little bit true, even if your kid did do something to that kid across the street, you're still going to defend them because they're your family, right? Now, you're still going to scold that kid, your child. You're still going to make sure they understand that's not the way you should do things. But the person across the street probably won't see you do that. And if you do, you're doing it for show. But for the most part, you're thinking in your mind thinking, the other kid probably deserved it. They did something too. It takes two to tango. So as a family member, shouldn't you kind of defend your family a little bit? Again, understanding that there are ramifications for what they did. So now your kid's in timeout, or gets a little spanking on the butt, or whatever the case may be, right? Grounded, whatever. Shouldn't it be the same way? I mean, was Trevor Bauer kicked out of the family, the Dodger family, right away? So taking Dave Stewart's point of view, the O'Malleys considered everyone family. And the moment you signed him, and I'll go back to that, maybe Trevor Bauer should never have been signed by the Dodgers, right? Because you kind of knew before he came into the fold, before you had him sign, the papers, put ink to the paper, you kind of knew this guy he's out there. You kind of knew the fact that he was probably doctoring the baseballs. Come on, if we as a fan know it, then you as the GM, the vice president, the organization, you understand that too. You talk to players. You tell me they didn't sit down with Justin Turner, ask him, hey, what do you think of Bauer, of Trevor Bauer, or Clayton Kershaw, or whomever? These guys talk. Of course they talk to them first. Somehow it was agreed upon, yes, bring Trevor Bauer, last year's ERA leader, here to our club. Let's do it. We got a strong club. We'll bring him in. We'll be just fine. A lot of clubs have done that. You have players back in the Patriots' heyday where they were just, screw-offs. They come into the Patriots locker room. It's a different story. You don't play around, right? The Bulls, Dennis Rodman situation. This guy was wacky doodle out there. You get with Mike and Scotty and all that, Phil and all that kind of thing. It was a different story. He still did his thing, but they were able to reel it in enough to make it right. And guess what? Championships, right? Behind that. You brought him in. You decided to bring this person into your family. So now when something goes on, wash your hands of it. For baseball's sake, because you don't want any trouble with that, with Manfred or anyone else. And for just the fans' sake, get him out of here. We don't want that. We don't want letters from different organizations, be it whatever it is, right? Female, male, I don't care who it is. And I don't care if it was a male to female. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. But again, devil's advocate, this guy's part of your family, and is still part of your family, because you signed up for this guy for what, 3 years with a fourth as an option? Something like that? I can't remember. Do we just kick him to the curb? Or is it family? And so now that it's been proven by the law that they're not going to pursue the case, right? And now, yes, MLB will do what they're going to do to clean up their sport, but as a family, shouldn't you then take this guy in and say, look, here's what we're going to do, counseling, let's have a talk, and then decide. And maybe they've done all those things. Who knows? At this point, he can't go onto the mound because MLB has said, nope, you're still on leave. And that could be, who knows? Right now it's 2 weeks, which a week of that has already gone by. Who knows how long it's going to be? But I don't know. What do you think? And then I'm torn because I know the Dodgers need another frontline starter. Clayton Kershaw is not a 1, 2, 3 pitcher. He's a 4 or 5 at best. You got one more year with him. Great. 4 or 5 at best, right? Julio Urias is your 2 or 3. Tony Gonsolin is maybe a 5, depending, you can't count on him. And then you got Walker Buehler, who's your 1. He's your ace, right? Regardless of who else is in the locker room. I don't care who's there. Walker's your ace. You need a 2. Or slide Julio up, you need a 3. Trevor Bauer's your guy. So I don't know. As a GM, I got to look at this and say, hey, because I will tell you what, 98% of the fans, if Trevor Bauer pitches this season for the Dodgers and he's 15-6 and we go to the World Series, all will be forgotten. Tell me I'm wrong. You know darn well I'm right. All will be forgotten. They will boo him. They will boo him through April, May, and June. Come July, when he's 8-3, and he didn't get voted on the All-Star team, but should have been because of baseball, and your team's in first place by 7 games, and the Giants are in second place, and Trevor just allowed you to take 2 out of 3 from the Giants in Oracle. Is that where they play? In Frisco. You tell me they're not going to, the boos will be a little bit less. And it'll be scattered. At first, strong boos, right? And Trevor will be Trevor. July, August, things are coming around and you're looking good, and Trevor's got a 670 winning percentage. Guess what? Few boos, more cheers. Winning hides all that madness, all of it. So in looking at that, looking at his past, we signed him. We brought him into the family. We took this kid, we took this straight in, right? Same thing with the Dennis Rodman situation. So did Phil and those guys just say, Michael, get him out of here? No, they took him and they worked with him. With Trevor, yeah, there's some stuff there, but again, he's not going to be convicted by the county, by the DA. So Major League Baseball can do what they want, but as a family, as a Dodger family, and I know this kid at work is saying all the players were against it, and Justin Turner was saying this, and so and Mookie Betts and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you don't like all your family. Sometimes your family embarrasses you. Sometimes they do things that are just outlandish, and sometimes, but if your family member does something where they go to jail for a couple of nights and then you get them back and they got to go to court for the next 6 months because of whatever they did or didn't do, they don't become less your family. They're still your family. What do you think? Am I being skewed because I know the Dodgers, and there's no good frontline pitchers out there? None. Not that you can consider a better 4 or 5 than what the Dodgers have currently. So it's going to be a little tough for them, coming in. God, I hate bullpen games. I hate bullpen games, and I really dislike David Roberts for using bullpen games. Okay, I put it out there. Anyway, what do you think? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Rich, what do you got to say? All right. By the way, I don't know which way I go with it, but I do want to talk about and specify the fact that he's family. You got to take care of your family. All right. Hey, thanks so much for checking in. And I want to know what you think about this. Let me know. All right. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Goodness sakes almighty. It's like talking to Trevor Bauer. GoPro, stop recording.